So a lot of you have shown interest in my little, where are we? There we go. My little paper pots that I am growing my seedlings in. So this is some celery. It's got 2 true leaves on it, which is pretty exciting. And there's a red cabbage and a tomato. So you can see the tomato pot is a little bit bigger than the cabbage, but they're about the same size. It's not an exact science. So basically they just, little paper cups. I have used yellow pages for these ones. Some of the older ones are newspaper. So it's just basically your generic thin, already recycled paper. Your yellow pages that get thrown out by your mailbox that you probably never use work really well for this. It's a perfect size. So instead of throwing them away because you don't need them, go ahead and use them for your garden. I use a Spice Island container just because it's a good size. You could use any similar size jar, round, square, doesn't really matter. Whatever you have that works. This is a good size for me because it fits right on my windowsills. So I can just stack them up on the windowsill and get them as much light as possible because I have one teeny tiny grow lamp. So it's all natural light for these guys. Stapler and something to cut the pages out, razor blade, knife, whatever you have. So just, fit there. Doesn't have to be perfect, just generally. So you get a page, fold it about, this one is a little extra thin, so yeah, fold it about like that. You kind of want them to overlap. Just, roughly thirds. Doesn't have to overlap completely. It depends on the size of your jar. And then take your jar and roll it like this. Slide it up. I use staples. I figure 1 little staple, 2 little staples, it'll just rust out and get back into the soil, and if anything, it'll improve the soil. So after, sorry, I did that kind of fast. After you've stapled the edge of it, just slide it off and then turn it around so the stapled side is at the bottom. Slide it back on, not all the way, just most of the way, until you have a good amount of paper to just cover about 3/4 of the bottom of the bottle when you fold it. Pinch the edges up. Then you fold this side down, pinch the edge a little bit, fold that side, and then fold the last side. And it makes a nice little flat bottom. You can see where the edges are, there and there. And I just lift it up a little bit, slide the stapler in, and staple number 2. And you slide it off, and you have a nice little paper cup. And you fill that up with dirt, and put your seeds in, water it. It's easy to tell when it's starting to get dried out because it's very light, and you can see whether the paper is dry or if it's damp. So I like that about it too. And when it's time to plant them out, you can just pop that in the dirt and the roots will grow right through it. It'll biodegrade down into the soil and you didn't waste anything. So works really good. I'm enjoying it. It's free, basically, except for the staples, which cost, pretty close to nothing. And then it makes life easier when it comes time to plant. You just pop them in the dirt and you're done.